still at Triple Crown Hobbies, and we have the opportunity. This is probably the long distance traveler that came from South Dakota today, so as well as award winning as well. So we wanted to take the opportunity to introduce Bobby and his son Jaxon. And part of the reason that Jaxon especially stood out to me was his driving, and to be able to be out driving and just doing consistent laps, not spinning out, and being able to, keep proximity and bang doors, so to speak, as well as getting to know Bobby. He had already introduced himself to me here earlier, and he's a customer of Crawler Innovations, so he already has our tire foam inserts. And so that, thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you for buying the products. And another thing too was the father and son aspect of it. As many of you know that know me, Gavin and I have been traveling and doing RCs for at least 23 now. I got him started at 2.5 when he got his first RC car. So that's a long time, and it's awesome when a family can be involved, because a family that plays together stays together. These relationships are very important, and so it's often you don't always get to see them in a sick society. So you've got to be wise and aware when you do see them, and give them their flowers and recognize it, because it doesn't matter what hobby it is. Family can get involved in anything as long as there's true passion involved, and it's shared. It can grow into something beautiful and blossom, and you never know. You really never know. But I wanted to give you an opportunity to talk about your builds and talk about your crawling and talk about your area, because you're from South Dakota.
Absolutely, yeah. Born and raised Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I'm 38 years old. 38 years old. Like I said, this is my son Jaxon. He's 15. Ever since I was in diapers, I loved cars. So
Nice.
The love of cars has just always been there for me. Growing up as a kid, RCs were always an interest. Never got to dabble with the hobby grade. It was always a toy grade RCs. He was about 7 years old. I decided to buy him a Traxxas Slash for a Christmas present. After it came out of the box, I started playing with it. My itch came back. I needed one. That evolved from playing in the front yard to all of a sudden finding a local track, racing short course, got into doing some racing, some buggies. We have a phenomenal park called Falls Park in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And if you're in a 10 scale or a 24 scale crawling, it's like a shrink down Moab. So it is just a wonderland for crawling. So of course, we hopped on that train as well, doing the crawling. And we ended up stumbling across your products and testing some foams and stuff.
What kind of crawlers do you have?
So we have some TRX Sports. We have Axial Capras, and then I'm actually wanting to get an HM Optic for my next chassis to play around.
Right on.
But we've gone through a few different style builds, wheelbases, tire sizes, things like that with it.
Man, the park you showed, not to interrupt, but the park, those pictures, because Bossman pulled them up, and he's like, "Yo, boss, we got to go check this out." And I agree. It screams sounds amazing.
The crawler community down there is fantastic. We do have some local hobby shops down there. They are pretty generic on the basic what they offer. They don't get in a lot of niche stuff, but it is something. It's great to have a hobby shop. Not a lot of towns have.
Are there any shops you want to shout out?
Hobbytown USA.
Really?
Ryan. Yeah, actually, that's like I said, it's a smaller shop, but he does a great job customer service.
Awesome.
If he doesn't have it on the shelf, you can.
Yeah.
But
great when Hobbytown USA has a passionate owner.
Absolutely.
It's not. Some of them see it as just a business, or they run a good business, but RC isn't their focus, and it's tough to grow your community if you can't have some basic parts on hand.
Absolutely.
Or at least some support to get in the right direction.
Absolutely. So for myself, too, as a kid growing up, with my love for cars, passion for cars, I also did a lot of scale models, built a lot of plastic models, and stuff like that. So then getting back in this whole RC thing, this just opened up my whole childhood again, gave me a way to express my love for cars through creativity, doing the model portions of it. I also grew up riding BMX bike, hanging out skate parks, building dirt jumps and things like that too, So there's a part of it where they're on our bikes, hey, check out this part, man, hey, I did this to my bike, So it's kind of the same thing. You paint jobs, you express your creativity, and you go out and you share it with the community,
Absolutely.
So the car side of things, drifting became a really big passion of mine in middle school. That's when drifting kind of started shifting over, early 2000s and stuff. Started the option magazines and Super Street and all that. So all this combined, is just why we're here today.
Nice.
Um, he is, and like you said, he is a phenomenal driver. He blows me away.
How long have you been driving, Jackson?
3 years.
Nice. How often do you drive every week?
Once or twice.
Okay.
Downstairs in the basement.
So we are, like I said, the RC community is strong. We don't have anything indoor. It is very strong with outdoor racing and crawling.
Okay.
So drifting is kind of non-existent in our city. So for the last 3 years, I have a little track. I call it the practice pad. It's not, we don't quite have a straightaway, but it's big enough where I have it designed where you can go multiple directions. It teaches you different disciplines, technical portions of it, longer sweeps, faster stuff, So we go down there to run drills,
Yeah.
and practice hands with each other and whatnot. So that's what we have. That's what we learn on,
Great.
So Victory Hobbies in Omaha, Nebraska is kind of the shop that we claim our local grit trend because it's 2 hours south of us. And we're there about once a month, if not twice a month.
Okay. So what's the track fee?
$10. It's a lot like here, P-tile track. They just did a Matsuri this weekend too, and actually, rumor is they're tearing up the track with J-Top.
Nice.
So
It's gonna grow the community even more.
absolutely,
That's great.
absolutely. We found ourselves here by traveling to Wichita, High Voltage Garage.
Okay.
We've been to a couple of their Matsuris. And then we just competed in our first STC competition. He made it to fourth or semifinal.
Oh, congratulations!
And
That's great.
Got knocked out by Matt, who ended up winning the competition.
That's good.
And then
You know, if you're gonna lose, you want to lose to the winner, right?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
great.
then I ended up taking third place. So
Congratulations upon him.
Yeah.
So you're qualified for Worlds then?
Apparently, yeah.
Okay, nope.
I want to. I was just talking about that with some guys here. It is a bucket list thing.
You should talk to Jerry. Jerry's good.
So maybe it might be a next year thing. I want to travel around a little bit more. Get to know some more people in the community and get some feet wet more doing some other comps before we make it to Super G.
It's all personal, but I wouldn't limit yourself.
Okay.
I wouldn't limit yourself because you never know. Because it's at the end of the day, especially in tandem, it's anybody's race.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So anybody can make a mistake.
Right.
At that point, yes, some experience can help, but it's really more about the mindset.
Absolutely.
Going in with a stable mindset and making sure that you're still having fun.
Yeah.
Having fun. Because
Absolutely.
when the fun takes away your passion, or you don't have the passion's gone, it's no longer fun.
Exactly.
100%.
And there again too. That's kind of we raced, and not to bash on any racing, but racing is very competitive and very stressful. There's been a lot of times where we would find ourselves at the end of the night more stressed out than we were having fun. So again, this
Been there, done that.
Yeah.
I'm like, why am I doing this?
Yeah, So
Yeah.
this is a lot. Like I said, hang out skate park, having fun. You can still go out there, bang some doors, and be competitive, but it's nothing serious in that day. It's just laughs and giggles, and
Right.
it's good. It's good times.
Right. So what did you win for awards in these?
So this RWB ended up getting best lights and best street class.
Beautiful car.
Thank you.
Very beautiful car.
This is the RX-7. That is my comp car, the carbon fiber chassis. That's the one I competed in the SDC championship and got, not the championship, but round 4, and got third place.
Okay. So that's your comp rig.
Yep.
This one is yours, Jackson?
Yes, this is mine.
What's this one?
It's a MST 2.5.
RMX.
It's RMX, yeah.
Okay. How do you like it?
I like it a lot. It's really easy to drive, and obviously I have a good tuner that helps me.
Nice.
So
Nice.
he gives me pointers of what to do and kind of how I should drive it. And yeah.
Good. And then the other bodies?
This is a BRZ 86 FRX, whatever you want to call it.
And this was, you actually have one of these.
I do in real life. Full
Yeah,
size.
you got a nice car.
Yeah, thank you.
And then we have it's an LP86.
It is.
Nice. How do you have it set up?
So that is the carbon fiber LSD chassis on there. We have a simple Eco Power 17.5 brushless motor in there. with a 60 amp hobby wing, ESC, NA, no boost, no turbo, keeping it simple.
Nice.
I had a Rev D servo in there just recently went out, so I'm actually trying one of those AGV servos, I think is what they're called.
Not sure.
Okay. But I just
Big high tech.
yeah, absolutely.
Big
Yeah,
high tech.
yeah, yeah,
Regardless, that or Futaba. Like, what transmitter system do you run?
So like I said, we dabble in a lot of RC stuff. For a long time, we've been running the simple Spectrum DX5Cs. We just went to the Noble and B4 Pluses
Okay.
for the drift cars specifically, and that was a huge improvement. We were out there hanging with the guys with our controllers, and you're like, we don't need to spend the money, it's fine, but we're happy we did. It was a big improvement.
When you finally start to realize, like, because I started over like the beginning of 2024 when I started in the two-wheel drive truck, I had the same attitude where, well, let me just throw in like the high-tech D625, which is like that $40 servo. It was a Castle Creation 1/18 scale Mamba Micro ESCs, and just kept, but these were parts that I already had, put these cars together and then ran with them for a year, and then you start to be around the pros and then you realize, oh, wait a minute, I'm a little slow, but it took me a year before I even realized that and see the difference.
I do think it's important, though, for beginners to know that you don't have to go out and, spend your whole life savings on getting all that. Because, like I said, similar. I built a FXX kit for my first car, and I put just a basic 4,000 kV hobby wing, not even sensor in it. I didn't have a gyro, so I just plugged in a Traxxas TQI receiver and a Traxxas controller, and a simple hobby wing ESC, and for 3 months, that's how I drove, and then gradually worked my way up with that, so that's the thing too. There's just so much knowledge, so many different ways to tune a car. There's no really one right or way wrong to do it, and that's where a lot of guys, they'll come and show interest at my track and get into it, and then when they start to get to that level, they need to tune it and everything, they get discouraged. Or they see everyone else with these fancy cars and they're like, oh, I need that, and they go overboard, and then they overload themselves with, okay, well, now I have this chassis I just built, it looks pretty, but how do I set it up and use it now? And it discourages them, So just keep it simple and fun, enjoy it, and then once it's something you're passionate about, then you can really start doing that.
I totally agree with you about that, because it is one of those things where you can these cars can be made fairly simple. I think the MRC, the Delight kit, is a good example. How much did changing the aftermarket chassis on the LP86 improve it?
Quite a bit. It really did. Honestly, it stepped it up quite a bit.
Did it help? Did they make any changes in how it leans? Because I know, like, out of the box in that kit, it's just relying on a piece of foam.
So that's the hard part. Is once I put this kit together, I no longer use those foam pieces. I'm using a 3D printed part on there that will use a spring system, magnets, and I'm actually tuning with rubber bands.
Oh, okay.
So it's a little bit different of a setup. So I can't really give you a before and after.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. I watched it. I mean, we've got footage, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Of it.
And I tightened it up a little bit. I have it pretty low right now, so I tighten the lean up a little bit on it. But that's what's so fun about it with rubber bands, and it's just so fun to tweak and play around.
Endless. Endless tuning.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So but I mean, like I said, we didn't bring them with us, but our crawlers, we geek out just as much with those. I mean, I love taking bodies that aren't meant to fit and drone tooling them and making them fit, and did a new bright Ford Bronco, drone build it, put it on there, he has a Jeep, opening doors and everything, and custom built a trailer for the drift cars, and so it's the scaleness of it. Like I said, the building the models.
I've been working backwards now because I started I've been starting to put drip bodies on crawlers.
Very nice.
Very nice. Trucks they're no longer trucks. One's a Ford Escort from like the late 70s.
Very cool.
So
very cool. Yeah, I've seen your trucks around here too. You got good taste, good style.
Thank you. Appreciate the kind words. Any last words or anything else you want to add?
Just we're blessed to be here. I do want to give a huge shout out to Triple Crown. First time experience. We're definitely coming back.
Awesome.
The community here, the people, it's nothing but helpful knowledge. Making sure everyone's having a good time.
Definitely.
And again,
we had a great time.
Yeah, and not only that, this track is awesome.
Anything you want to add, Bossman, or any questions you have? You think we got it covered? Awesome. Well, I want to thank you both for your time. Thank you for your drive to come down here. Thank you to do the interview.
Yeah.
And we'll catch you guys on the next interview. Double deuces.